As July begins, the weather will be undergoing a significant change, not only here in the northern plains, but really across much of the country. First of all, July weather will move in and make a stand. Parts of the nation are going to have some pretty hot weather, and not just California and Arizona. The other thing is spotty storms will bring some locally heavy rains. Some areas will get too much, but the key here, like it usually is in July, it's going to be spotty. You have to get under the right cloud to get that right rainfall in July, especially if you're going into July a little dry, which many areas of the Dakotas are. And it is still somewhat dry across the northern plains. Here's what we're talking about. The jet stream has finally gone up to the north. We will be experiencing some warming temperatures into the northern plains this week as hot weather, and by hot weather, I mean 90s and 100s, expands out into the Great Plains through the course of the week. Some of the hottest weather will be right around the 4th and 5th of July. But the jet is not going north to stay forever. It's going to hang around. That cool weather will be lingering. Looks like a little wave will drop through later in the week. It'll still be fairly warm, and I do think the hot weather will build back as we get toward the weekend. Now, what does this mean for precipitation? There isn't a lot going on right now. A few showers down in the south. Some of those will migrate up into some of the lower Ohio River Valley. And there will be other storms here and there, but not a lot of real organized weather. And most of the west is just going to be dry. Around midweek, I think there'll be some disturbance coming out of Canada, which will produce some storms. Can't say exactly where they'll be along the Canadian border. How far south they go, it's hard to tell. They will likely be spotty, but there will be the potential there for some good rains. The best chance is probably coming in Manitoba and northern Minnesota, but there may be some extension of that further on down to the south. That'll then slowly migrate toward the Great Lakes. As we move toward the second week of the period, which is the 9th to 15th of July period, the dry weather will retreat just a little bit. There may be a few more rounds of storms dropping out of the north as the jet stream flattens a little bit, but it's not going to really collapse. So it does look like July will be consistently above average. And as we get into that second week, the hottest weather will continue to be in the southwest, the Rockies, but it'll start to spread out into the plains again, even parts of the Dakotas, even as far east as Iowa. There will be some 90s and 100s at times, probably more 90s than 100s that far east. So to reiterate, July weather making a stand. It's not like a big 1988 heat wave or anything like that, but the hottest weather in the Great Plains of the summer starting to appear, and there will be more of it. There will be some storms, but they'll be hit and miss with potential for some pretty juicy rainfalls at spots. But overall, we're going into July somewhat dry in much of the northern plains. A few spots are in an absolute drought, and I don't look for that situation to get any better this month.